Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture. This is my third installment of Saturday Morning Makes, so let's just jump on in. Hey friends, welcome to Saturday Morning Makes. I am a little late. This video will be going up Sunday morning instead of Saturday, but life happens and we just show ourselves grace. So if you are unfamiliar, Saturday Morning Makes it's a hashtag project, if you will, that was created by Jillian Norwood of Greenwood Girl Cards. And she started it at the beginning of the pandemic when everybody was just kind of jonesing for connection. And her thought process was not only would it provide a means of connection, but it would also provide a means for creators to share their art instead of just the processes or maybe hauls or whatever else may have been kind of popular at the time. She wanted everyone to be able to actually share their art. So that's what this is about. So with that being said, I am going to jump in to what I have to share with you today. It's a couple of tags and a couple of cards. But what started my process was this. This was actually a gel plate print, and well, I have a third piece. But I really wanted to use this. This just sparked my creativity. And so the print was made with a jelly plate, and I used an orange and a pink and a yellow acrylic paint just from Dollar Tree. Actually, my neighbor brought them over and they were from Dollar Tree. And if you look real close, you can see that I used some bubble wrap to create that fun print in the background. Something about a bubble wrap print, guys. I mean, my heart just goes swoon. I love it. And I really love the big bubbles. But anyway, I have these new tag dies. Let me pull them out for you. Okay, I guess it's just this one. So I have some others that I haven't used yet as well, but these are from MFT, as you can see. And it is called Trendy Tag. So it cuts the big piece and then it cuts the middle piece, which is a frame as well as an insert. So we have the big piece, the frame, and the insert. So I didn't have a whole lot of this print, but I have enough to have the big piece and then the insert, and then the frame is on another one, and I'll bring it in soon. But I probably die cut for about an hour, so I still have all of these that I haven't used yet. Probably won't get used this time around just because responsibilities in life calls to other directions, but I thought they were super fun. And then I also have all of these, what are we calling these? Reinforcers. These are from my Whimsy mini slim tag die set. One day I just sat and I did a bunch of die cutting with them as well. These don't quite fit this particular tag perfectly, if you will. I hate the word perfect, but by the time you get everything put together and you get all of your embellies on and stuff, it really doesn't matter. So, all right, so let me tell you about the tags themselves. So this one, let me set this one aside. This is this beautiful moth. It is from the Glimmer of Light stamp set from Visible Image. I love Visible Image, y'all. I just really do. So I actually did the whole guy. Where's my other half? And here's my other half. So this one's a bit kind of grungy, kind of mixed media. And this one is much simpler, but it's one whole stamp, and I just cut it in half to make two tags. So I think it's really fun. This stamp is this silhouette. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a skull in there. Can you see that skull? And you can see it here as well. And then the other side. It's kind of dark, but it's kind of not. Anyway, on this particular tag, or the frame and the insert, I had cut the whole thing out in white, and I have another white piece somewhere else, and I just thought it was kind of cool to draw your eye in and kind of frame the whole thing. And it's interesting because when you do that, this one, this part of the moth versus this part of the moth, this one looks so much smaller. This one looks huge because I don't have a frame, excuse me, a frame to draw your eye in. I think it's just very curious, just kind of a play with the eye. Sorry, I have something in my throat. Okay, now these little dots are actually the little dots that come out of the center of your reinforcers. So I have a smaller reinforcer and a larger reinforcer, so of course they give you different size dots. So I just glued them all down just to where it pleased my eye. I didn't want a whole lot, but I wanted it to fill that space and bring that third color. So we have the yellow and the orange and then the black. So I wanted the black to be over here as well, because this isn't, it's a silhouette, but I used an acrylic block versus my Misty. So I didn't get a super dark stamp, but I'm okay with that. But I just wanted something else to be a little bit darker. So I used the reinforcers, and then I simply added some Nuvo crystal glaze to these dots and to those dots. And you can see that I heat embossed the moth image. So, and I used my Olo markers. I'm building my collection. It may not look much bigger than when I first shared, but it definitely is. And I think I have another set coming, set of 8. So it would be like 4 markers, but each end is different. So this essentially is 2 markers, 2 full markers. And these are different than a Copic because the fluid inside, the pigment inside it's loose. It doesn't feel like a felt core, if you will. So this contains all of the ink of a full marker, like a full Copic, or even my Everblends. I want to say, I don't know if there are others on the market similar to this or not, but most of them have like a felt core. And when you fill it, or when it comes to you filled, you really never get all of the ink out of there. You are going to be able to use almost 100% of the ink that's in these. So they're not cheap, but they're definitely less expensive than Copics, and you're getting more for your money in the end. So really liking my Olos for a lot of different reasons. Still love my Everblends. They're just different, kind of comparing apples and oranges. So let me move those out of the way. My crystal glaze and the reinforcers, I'll set them up there. All right, and then we have this tag, and I think it's super cute. It has nothing to do with those. It's very different. This particular paper, pattern paper, is from Die Cuts with a View. It's from this pattern paper pack. I don't even know what size this is. 8.5 by 11. So many beautiful, beautiful prints in here, and they are inspired by textiles. So I really, really love them. Now, I'm not a florals girl, but there's something about these, like this Jacobean style, and then the batik. Wait, where's one of the batik prints? Right there. They're just really pretty. They're unique. It's not something that you see every day. But I had this part, and I'll show you a card made with this same card pattern paper. But it was in my scrap bin, and I just thought it was really pretty. And when I was going through my scrap bin to pull out things that coordinated with this gel plate print, I saw it and I just pulled it out. So I cut my frame in gray, and then that particular insert is set aside. It's in that cup that I showed you. And then I had this half of this polka dot and the half that was white, and I butted them up together to fill my background, and then I just used that stripe of darker gray to kind of be the border there. And I like that it has that little scalloped edge because it's actually the outside of where I cut one of the darker frames. So I just thought that was kind of cool. And then the hello Hello is this from this stamp set. I want to say is that Diana Revley? Oh no, I'm not sure. I am not sure. Anyway, I love the font. It's a beautiful font. And they're not the best. It's not the best. I don't even know what this kind of rubber is. It feels more rubbery than anything. Yeah, but it's a beautiful font, and it doesn't do a bad stamp. Now, again, I used the acrylic block instead of my Misty, and it was still kind of wet, so I smudged it some, and I can't really fix that at this point. But it is what it is. So I'm just going to show myself grace and keep it moving. And then the little dearie are from this waffle flower stamp set. It's called Books and Coffee. I think it's super cute. Happiness is a cup of coffee and a good book. I think that's really cute. And then of course there's stacks of books. This little chick on a book with a cup. Oh my gosh, how cute. The two bunnies peeking in from both sides. The studious bear. The little raccoon right there. And then of course this is a big book. This is a cup. That would be like a milk container. Another cup. And then a tea tag and a little heart and the word tea right there. So you could stamp that tea on your little tea tag. Super cute, right? I just thought it was sweet with the little dearies poking their heads in. Cute, cute, cute. Oh, I forgot to go back to this one. The only two things that I really want to mention about this one. The moth, of course, is the smaller moth from this stamp set. And it's the exact same thing, it's just shrunk down. So I really like him. Colored it essentially the same way. And then, like I said, this would be the insert from this frame. So we've got the big one, the insert, and then the frame will be over here. I'll bring that in just a second. But with the background, I actually had half of the white and then half of this kind of summer sun orange, orangey yellow. And I just glued them together to make one full-size tag, and I think it looks kind of cool. I like it. So there's those four. And let me move these out of the way again. Oh. All right, what is next? Let's finish these tags. So these two are super cute. So they are made with a stamp set from Whimsy Stamps. It's new. Space 8. Nope, I've got that in the wrong package. It is the Space Moonies. I need to put it in the right package. It's the Space Moonies. Yeah, I think they're super cute. I love this little astronaut. The little what is that? It's a heart with like a Saturn ring, but it's supposed to be a heart-shaped planet. I think that's really cute. Two heart-shaped constellations, a set of hearts, the big or little dipper, whichever you want it to be. These little aliens in their space flying saucer, and then these guys with the balloon, and then here's another astronaut inside, like he's peeking through the heart. So really, really cute. So I did this one first. I had the orange stamped out, and you can barely see it, but I did some tone-on-tone stamping in the back with, I used this guy, no, this one, and that one. So it was the planet, it was the small heart constellation, and then the dipper. You can barely see them. And then I did some splatter. Now this piece was another half, just like this one. It was a half, and then I took my scissor. Anybody else have these old scissors? They're Provo Craft. They are 100 years old. But I just snipped it in half, and then that gave me a topper and then a bottom. And I thought that was really cute. And I did some splatter with my Posca pens, as well as a little bit of oxide ink. I thought that was really cute. And then of course I stamped the little heart planet, and then the greetings right here. And then of course this one, this little guy and girl. Let me set those up there a little bit further. Super cute. You can see I colored them really softly. This one's kind of green, this one's kind of blue. And again, I smudged the ink. I've got to be more careful. I mean, you can see my hands this morning. Inky hands are happy hands. But anyway, and then again, of course, you can see that I used some more crystal glaze just to kind of accentuate a few things. And for the glass, I used a little bit of the blue. Which blue was it? It was this blue. See, it has the green on one end and the blue on the other. So I used the green on this guy and then the blue on this one. And then I put the blue over here and then I blended it out so that it's white over here. So it just kind of gives that hint of a glassy color. I thought that was really cute. I really like that one. And this one might be my favorite of all of them, and I have two more to share. But so let me go back here. So we have the big die, and then we have the frame, and then we have the insert. So I got all three of those from this very small piece of gel plate print. But as you can see, I've made a tag out of this one. I stamped out these little cuties and I colored them with some warm gray markers. It was warm gray 3 and 5 and warm gray 0. So I used 1 and 3, and then I used 3 and 5. So they coordinate really, really well. And again, that's two different markers on one barrel. So those make me really happy. And then this mix is from This Calls for Confetti. I cannot tell you the names. I think one of them is something Dahlia. I'll have to look, but I'll have them linked in the description box downstairs. And then I added some more of the little yellow sparkle gems, and then I added some more of the, I think they were called pumpkin, of the confetti. I just wanted some more of the yellow and the orange in there. But I thought it was really, really cute. I don't think I've ever made a shaker tag before, or if I have, it's been a long, long time. And then in the background, you can barely see there's some embossing there. I took a stencil and I dry embossed it. And this was from years ago. This has been in my stash for a very long time. In fact, let me see if I can show you my black scraps. They're in this job ticket holder. These are my black scraps. And I had made a garland of coffins 100 years ago, and it was really cheap, really inexpensive, poor quality paper. And so I used my Cricut to cut out the boxes, and then they're actual boxes. So I scored them and glued them together, and then I had this big wreath of different coffins, and I had dry embossed all of them. And then I just ran some gold ink over the top. I think it was Delicata. But on this one, I don't know if I have any more of it, but it was a Simon Says stamp stencil. It was like a Nordic folksy kind of thing. Anyway, I just thought it was really fun. So when I was doing all my die cutting, I die cut that out of there. I'm looking to see if I have more in here. Like here, I actually have this embossing folder that I'll use today. So this one was an actual embossing folder, and you can see that I embossed the paper and then I ran that gold over it. And then of course this one that I shared a minute ago, but there were a bunch of different ones. Let me see, is this one more? Well, this was the side. So anyway, I digress, but you can see that this was actually the side of the coffin box, so it created a whole box. Anyway, I might do that again maybe this year. I have better quality paper. I think it'll hold up a little bit better. But that is where that particular background came from on that little tag. So thank you for bearing with me as I digress, because I do. But I think it's really cute. All right, so far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tags. Let me put that aside. And now we have 7 and 8. And so these, I went with the pink, black, and white theme. And this particular die set is the Space Aliens die set. So you can see this long, sexy girl And then this guy's shooting his little ray gun. No, I did not use the rays, but I have some cut out. Let me see if I can pull them out and you can see what they look like. So these are my extras. But that's the little, what the little ray gun would look like, or the ray from the ray gun. But I just didn't have quite enough room for it on this tag because they're relatively small. But yeah, super cute. I really don't do aliens, but my kiddo Quinn really does, and they liked these particular sets, so I was like, alrighty, done and done. So I just thought they were really, really cute. Here's another instance where I had half a frame in black, half in white, and then I melded them together to make one frame. And then that black and white paper in the background is from this pack from Die Cuts with a View as well. And it's called Midnight Chic, but it's all black, white, and gray, and that just, I've had this for years, and I just love it. So it has a bunch of different black and white options like this. You can obviously cut them out, little tags, little borders. And I've covered the back of a bookcase with these at work, and the bottom of baskets. I've used this for so many different things. These kinds of books, guys, will last you, I mean, they could last you a lifetime. They really could. So I think when we start to hoard our pattern paper, that maybe we're really not hoarding it, but maybe they're just such a good buy, they're a good investment, and they last for so very long. So anyway, this is where this little piece came from. Lots of good options in here, but this was in my scrap bin. And so I'm trying to use my scraps before I pull out a full pattern or a full sheet of anything. So there's that. You can see the glitter. I actually have a Wonky Stella pen, but it's about empty. So I took some of my sheer shimmer craft spray. This is in sparkle. This is my old one. It's almost gone. So much sparkle there. But I just dabbed it out. I just took the sprayer and dabbed it onto my work surface. And then I used the paint pen from my Wonky Stella. Oh, maybe you can see all that glitter stuck in there too. But I used it to paint. And I was just going to do their eyes, but I couldn't help myself. I wanted them to stand out a little bit more. And I already had the glitter paper in her eyes, and then I had this glittery reinforcer. And so I just went ahead and painted them. Now with these, I only wanted to do the eyes. This guy, I wanted to do the whole thing because he's pink and he's different. And then this one, the paint just got away from me, and I actually need to go back and fix him because it's not very consistent. I need to fix that. So in fact, while we're talking, let me see if I can't add a little bit more to him. And then to his ray gun. I thought that was cute. So, all right, so that is a total of 8 tags. Super, super cute. Oh, let me go back. This one has an embossing folder. I don't know where I put it. It is from Park Lane, which is a Joann's brand. And you can see the little polka dots, the embossing in the background of that. All right, so let me move my stuff out of the way. We'll keep clearing it out as I make a mess. All right, now the cards. So I have 4 cards to share today. So this is the first one that I made. So this is the same pattern paper as this tag. You can barely see the pattern paper on that, but once you get it up close, then you can tell, oh, yep, there it is. There it is. So let me set him back aside. In fact, let me move them out of the way a little bit more so we can see better. Get everything straightened up. So this die, the high die, is from my favorite things, and it is just called a very big high. And I've been jonesing to use this. I've had this now for a couple of weeks, several weeks in fact, and I finally decided let's do it. So like I said, when I started this process, I die cut for about an hour. I die cut the high in a bunch of different colorways, some pattern paper, some solid, and then of course all of the different tags. And I just had so much fun with the die cutting, and I don't like die cutting. So anyway, this is my favorite. This pattern paper, just, I'm not a floral girl, but I love that kind of Jacobean style because it's, I don't know, it's more loose. This one is anyway. And it's not your traditional like floral bouquet. But anyway, really, really like it. And I love this colorway. That mustardy yellow, orangey in the background. And then the different shades of the pinks and the grays and the dark greens. Love it. So I found this burgundy piece of paper in my stash, and of course the high. I have this folder full of white scraps that's just, it's ridiculous. So yeah, so I have loads in here. I'll never run out of white scraps. If I can get it back in my drawer, I'll be good to go. So anyway, I just thought it was super simple. I used the Whimsy Wonky stitched rectangle dies. For all the cards, actually, I used the largest of the dies. You can barely see the stitching there. And then you see this embossing. I used this folder. It was Fun Stamper's Journey. I want to say that they have been absorbed by, is it Spellbinders? I think it is Spellbinders absorbed Fun Stamper's Journey, or maybe it was always part of it. I don't know. But FSJ really doesn't exist anymore, but of course Spellbinders does. But it's a really fun scripty font. I don't even know if it really says words. I can't decipher anything. Maybe decipher is not the right word. Anyway, I just think it looks really cool. I love it. So that is my first card with these products, right? Love that. So here comes the next one. I found another piece of pattern paper from that same pack, and of course they're going to coordinate because they're the same colorway or similar colorways. So just use, this is a white strip of paper and these are white scraps as well. I just cut them off, glued them all together, and then used the stitched rectangle die to die cut them all out. If I can get it out. Well, maybe you understand what I'm trying to say without my demonstration. I don't know. Oh, it just wants to stick on everything. So I literally glued the pink one and then the two white strips down to the floral print, and then I ran it all through my die cut machine with this, and then it just cut them out perfectly. Same over here. It's wanting to come up right there. And then of course you can see that I used a lighter gray for the high, and they're just very simply. Now I may go back and do a sub-sentiment, but for right now I think I'm happy with them. I think they're done. And then I had a million scraps. A million. In fact, let me show you. This is still all my scraps. This is my black pattern paper scraps. This is my yellow. I've got some pink in there as well. And still loads. And those are my extra die cuts. So yeah, I'm not joking. I had a bunch. So I thought, well, you know what? While we're making, let's make. So I took a piece of, it's probably 60-65 pound weight. I think it's a cover weight. White cardstock, and then I put tape runner down. I just have these inexpensive ones by AdTech Crafter's Tape, and then I just put it all over that, and then I cut my strips into varying widths and just laid them out. And then you can see that I ran it through my die cutting machine with this folder. It's an arabesque folder, and I think it just gave it a little bit of added texture to the background. And then of course the high right in the middle. Again, super simple. And then I layered it with the black just to make all of those yellows and oranges pop. I thought it was really fun. And then I did similar to this on this one, but I didn't have any more large pieces of black cardstock, and I didn't want to pull out a fresh piece. So I thought, well, I haven't done anything grungy. Let's do a little grunge. So ran it through with this, what is this called? An embossing folder. This one is also from Park Lane, from Joann's. I really like the Park Lane ones. Now these are 2D, they're not 3D, but I love that. It looks like, or it has the same feel as a large bubble print or bubble wrap print from like on a gel plate print. So I love that one. That's one of my favorite gel plate or embossing folders. Ran this whole thing through. You can see that after I glued everything down to that piece of layering cardstock, I ran it all through with my Wonky stitch rectangle dies, and I did the same on both panels. And then on this one I took my black ink pad. I just used Memento, and I just lightly went across the top of those little bubbles, and then I went across the edges because, like I said, I didn't have any black to layer it with, but I really wanted that black to make the colors pop. So I just went across the edges like this of this panel, and then I did the same thing on the actual card base. So you can see it's on both pieces, but it just kind of pulls that out, and then the clean white juxtaposed against the grungy black background I thought was really fun. Really fun. Again, I know that's not for everybody. Not everybody likes the grunge. I am a grungy girl much more than I'm a clean and simple girl. These for me are very clean and simple, and I love them, but that's not always, well, it's not usually what I do. But guys, this is it. This is everything, and I've just truly put these together in the last couple of days. So thank you for spending some time with me. As always, I appreciate you so much. Let me know if you have a favorite. I think of everything, this one is my favorite, and as much as I love these two, I think that's my second favorite. So yeah, really, really love. Guys, let me know, like I said, let me know what you think, and I appreciate you for spending some time with me. I appreciate you anyway, and I look forward to chatting with you downstairs in the comments. And remember, use that hashtag #SatMornMakes, and you can hop along and see what everybody else has created. And remember, that's a hashtag that it's kind of perpetual, right? So it's from the very first day, and it will just continue to be. So you're going to see everything that was ever, or it's going to create a playlist, if you will, of everything that was ever created for Saturday Morning Makes. Hashtag #SatMornMakes. So for now, guys, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and I want to thank Jill Norwood and everyone else who's been participating in Saturday Morning Makes, just for kind of laying the groundwork for the rest of us who are new to the process. And I appreciate you guys. I thank you. And until next time, mwah, I'm out.